And the thing that I'm single-minded about is racism. If someone were to ask me, so Janet, got any plans for the 4th of July? I'm subject to answer, yeah, I'm going to binge watch Roots.
This is Janet. She is an executive communications manager for the UPS, and she claims that racism is alive in America and it should be up to business to be the main contributor in solving this issue. Now, before we take a look at your approach to solving racism, first we need to examine your claim. Janet provides 2 examples of why she believes that racism is still a major problem.
Back in 1984, I was a junior at Davidson College in Davidson, North Carolina. Out of 1,200 students, only 52 of us were black.
Her conclusion of racism stems from the idea that because black people were underrepresented in her particular college, as well as Fortune's top 500 CEOs, this proves that racism or exclusion has played a major part. Now, there's a big issue with your evidence. Personal anecdotes are not strong pieces of evidence. For example, if your friend got the flu after getting the flu shot, this doesn't necessarily mean that the flu shot gave your friend the flu or that the flu shot does not work. You cannot base your conclusion off any particular case. However, there are plenty of scenarios where there is not even close to equal representation. For example, amongst athletes in the NBA, 74% were black, while only 23% were white. Under your logic, would it be fair to say that the NBA is practicing racial discrimination or excluding white athletes? The thing is that it's almost impossible to have a perfectly represented population in any environment. And who is it to define what a perfectly diverse group looks like? Now, Janet does give her definition in the talk.
If you have employees and customers, wouldn't it make sense if they looked a little bit like the people that work for you? So if that's the case, maybe your employee base should be 13% black and 18% Hispanic, because that's what the population looks like.
But that definition is not always the best. While it may make a lot of sense to use the United States averages to base diversity, each state could have drastically different percentages of minorities. Take the state of Maine, which has a 95% white population and a 1% black population, all while in the US has a 72% white population and a 13% black population. What is properly diverse can change drastically depending on how big or how small you draw your circle. Anyways, that's all the time I have for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Which makes me a little bit of a unicorn, but I'm a single-minded unicorn.